safest way to clean your computer. Computer keyboards can harbor more harmful bacteria than a lavatory seat. It has been claimed many users are at risk of becoming ill with stomach bugs. According to the consumer group, which it warned that Quitty Tummy, named after the first 6 letters on a keyboard, could sweep through workplaces after tests on equipment in its own London offices showed alarming results. One keyboard was so dirty that a microbiologist ordered it to be removed, quarantined and cleaned. It had 150 times the acceptable limit for bacteria and was 5 times as filthy as a typical lavatory seat. Anyone who eats a sandwich or piece of fruit having been tapping on such a keyboard can pick up bacteria that could lead to a stomach upset. The scientists swabbed 33 keyboards for food poisoning bugs E. coli, coliforms, Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacteria and compared the results to those found on a lavatory seat and lavatory door handle. 4 of the keyboards were considered a potential health hazard and 1 was condemned. 2 had warning levels of Staphylococcus aureus and 2 others had worryingly elevated levels of coliforms and Enterobacteria, putting users at high risk of becoming ill from contact. The expert said the findings were typical of offices all over Britain. Computing editor Sarah Kidner said the shocking results revealed that some of these keyboards were harboring harmful bacteria that could potentially give their users a stomach upset. The germs found could cause food poisoning symptoms such as diarrhea. The main cause of a bug-infested keyboard is eating lunch at desks, as the food deposits encourage the growth of millions of bacteria. Poor personal hygiene, such as dodging hand washing after going to the lavatory, may also be to blame. Most people don't give much thought to the grime that builds up on their PC, but if you don't clean your computer, you might as well eat your lunch off a lavatory seat. Found that 1 in 10 people never clean their keyboard, while 20% never clean their mouse. Around half cleaned their keyboard less than 1 a month. The modern practice of hot desking, in which staff sit at different desks every week, means that workers do not know who has been using their keyboard before them. Which says users should unplug computers before wiping surfaces with a damp, soft, lint-free cloth. Keyboards should be unplugged, turned upside down and shaken. 7 reasons you need to stop what you're doing and clean your filthy laptop. You could get sick. Much like on doorknobs and light switches, the grime that accumulates on our laptops often goes unnoticed and, therefore, uncleaned. But believe it or not, our grossest habits transfers tons of germs and bacteria to our laptops the minute we put our fingers on the keyboard. As mighty as they are invisible, once those germs are allowed to grow and build up on your computer, they can make you more likely to get sick. In fact, a British study shows that keyboards swabbed at an average London office had more harmful bacteria than a toilet seat. While the survey found that most users cleaned their keyboards infrequently and cleaned their mouses even less often. Yuck. To keep the germs away, use a soft, damp microfiber cloth to wipe the screen and keyboard at least once every other week. Your laptop could overheat. Dust is way more than a simple nuisance around the house. It can also clog up the fans and vents inside your laptop, preventing it from cooling down properly. Overheating, in turn, can wreak havoc on the hardware inside and ultimately spell demise for your dear Mac or PC. To deep clean the fans and vents, power down your laptop and remove the battery, and then take it to a spot that you don't mind getting dusty. If your laptop has a bottom panel, unscrew it and use a can of compressed air to blow the fans, clearing them of dust. If you can't open your laptop, Point the can of compressed air at the cooling vents and do the same thing. But beware of using too much pressure, which could damage the fans. Instead, shoot short bursts from different angles into the laptop. And since this is a deep clean, you only need to do it once or twice a month, depending on the age of your laptop. The older it is, the more dust it accumulates and the more upkeep it requires. It could drain your laptop's battery. When your laptop overheats, it is working that much harder to perform at maximum capacity. As a result, the fans run at full blast to keep the hardware cool, which does a number on your battery and causes it drain much faster than usual. Keeping dust out of the vents and fans will ensure that your battery stays in tip-top shape, but double-check the instruction manual before taking your laptop apart to make sure you're not violating the warranty. Does your laptop keep dying? Try these tricks to make it last longer than ever. Your laptop could run slower. If your laptop is overheating and it's running at max capacity, it will try to reduce its performance to stay cool. Translation: you could be in for many frustrating hours of refreshing the internet, waiting for your documents to load, and staring at that dreaded rainbow-hued spinning wheel. If you don't want to waste the time, invest in your laptop now by cleaning the keyboard every other week and the fans at least once a month. You're almost guaranteed to thank yourself later on. Check out these other reasons your computer is running slow, and easy fixes to the problem. The keys could get stuck. Late night snackers, beware. Munching on Cheetos and guzzling on caffeinated beverages as you type late into the evening is shortening the life of your laptop. Thanks to the buildup of food crumbs, dust, and grime on your keyboard, the keys can get clogged and stick when you press on them. Not only does that slow down your average words per minute, but it can also lead to more hardware problems and lots of germy residue. Like cleaning dust from your laptop's fans, use a can of compressed air to clear out the dust, particles, and crumbs that get stuck in hard-to-reach places like the sides of the keys. You use your laptop almost daily. Whether you're plugging in while on a busy commuter train or in a morning cafe, your laptop endures the most wear and tear out of almost all of your electronic devices. And because they're subject to the roughest usage, they also require more cleaning than a normal computer or tablet. Think about it: if you're schlepping along your laptop between work and home, that means it's exposed to double the dirt and germs. All the more reason to clean your laptop regularly. You have no idea what could be lurking on in around those keys and screens. You could lose money. In the end, if you clean your laptop on a regular basis and maintain its internal components well, you're almost guaranteed to extend its shelf life. Plus, not only will doing so save you thousands of dollars in refurbishments and updates, but you also won't need a new laptop so soon down the road. You should ask yourself these key questions before buying a new computer. 2. Important reasons why you should clean your keyboard and the best keyboard cleaning products. Keyboards, mice, touchpads and, more recently, touch screens have become part of the devices that we use on a day-to-day basis and can't live without. This, along with busy lifestyles such as eating at our desks at work or taking our laptops out and about with us, means that our computers are subjected to more than they ever have been before. Not only does this give rise to the opportunity for more wear and tear, but it means that our computers, in particular our keyboards, can actually make us ill. Studies have shown that keyboards in shared offices can contain 5 times more bacteria than a toilet seat, and harmful bacteria at that, as well as germs such as the common cold and coughs, Bacteria that causes food poisoning and vomiting bugs can easily live on shared keyboards and be passed to everyone who uses their keyboard. In an ideal world, everyone would wash their hands after eating or going to the toilet, but unfortunately in places like offices, libraries and even if you share your home computer, you can never know what germs and bacteria someone has on their hands. Apart from harboring harmful bacteria, keyboards can also become clogged with food particles along with dust and general grime. This is not only unsavory to think about, but surprisingly can also attract mice that wander across the keys looking for a tasty meal. Computer keyboards are more likely to hold large amounts of dust and hair, but laptop keyboards are not immune from the problem, and you should make keyboard cleaning top of your to-do list. As a first step, turning off or unplugging your device, then turning it upside and shaking over a rubbish bin will help to dislodge some of the loose debris that may be hiding in the crevices. After this, using a can of compressed air such as Fellow's pressurized gas duster will remove more of the dust and food that can collect in between keys. A cleaning brush specifically made for keyboards, such as Mercury cleaning brush, will help with regular dust maintenance and allow you to clean into those hard-to-reach spots, brushing away dirt that may be too stuck for compressed air to remove. If you suspect that there is more dirt underneath your keys than the compressed air or cleaning brush can remove, it may be worth gently popping off your keys to take a look at the space underneath. Do remember to take a quick photo of your keyboard arrangement first to make sure you know where each key goes back. For cleaning general dirt and skin oils on the keys, 3M Keyboard Cleaner is a great kit to keep near the computer, as it contains both a cleaning solution and scrubbing tool that work to get into difficult-to-reach areas, as well as removing built-up grime from individual keys. Always spray cleaning solutions onto a cloth or tool rather than straight onto the keyboard to avoid any liquid seeping into the circuitry of the keyboard. To remove bacteria and germs from the keyboard, an antibacterial cleaner is required. A product such as eCleanse Keyboard Cleaner is great for use in the office, as the foam cleaners are individually packaged and dampened with a solution that kills 99.9% of bacteria. These little cleaners are specially shaped to get in between the keys and will leave even the grimiest keyboards clean and fresh again. A clever product called CyberClean is also great for removing dirt and debris from a keyboard while killing 99.9% of bacteria. This colored elastic compound has a fresh fragrance and can be carefully pressed on top of the keys where it will grab dirt from crevices while killing germs. The product is reusable, which is handy for keeping next to the computer at home or in the office when someone else has got a little too close to your keyboard for comfort. Now that you have a sparklingly clean keyboard, remember to take good care of it so it doesn't become covered in dirt and germs again. Keep one of the antibacterial products above next to your computer or in your laptop bag so that you have the tools to freshen your computer up at regular intervals. Your keyboard dirtier than a toilet. It turns out that your computer keyboard could put a host of potentially harmful bacteria including E. coli and staph quite literally at your fingertips. Sure, it may sound like a hypochondriac's excuse to stay away from the office, but a growing body of research suggests that computer mice and keyboards are, in fact, prime real estate for germs. It's a phenomenon most recently illustrated by tests at a typical office environment in the United Kingdom. A consumer advocacy group commissioned the tests in which British microbiologist James Francis took a swab to 33 keyboards, a toilet seat and a toilet door handle at the publication's London office in January. Francis then tested the swabs to see what nasty germs he managed to pick up. He found that 4 of the keyboards tested were potential health hazards, and one had levels of germs 5 times higher than that found on the toilet seat. While the results of this simple test cannot necessarily be applied to the rest of the computer keyboards in the United Kingdom or in this country, for that matter the findings are in line with the considerable body of research suggesting that our daily routines put us in near constant contact with potentially dangerous germs. And health officials have taken notice. In January, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that a norovirus outbreak at a Washington, D.C. elementary school in February 2007 that sickened more than 100 may have been spread through contaminated computer equipment. Specifically, according to an article in the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, a computer mouse and keyboard in one first-grade classroom tested positive for the virus, which is linked to a disease commonly called stomach flu. This outbreak is the first report of norovirus detected on a computer mouse and keyboard, which highlights the possible role of computer equipment in disease transmission and the difficulty in identifying and properly disinfecting all possible environmental sources of norovirus during outbreaks, noted the authors of the January 4 article in the discussion section of the report. How their researchers detected a host of different, potentially disease-causing germs on everything from doorknobs to paper money. How to clean your keyboard without breaking it. Most of us don't take good care of our keyboards. We eat over them, we spill things onto them, and the worst part of it all, we never clean them. A keyboard remains a sticky, dirty, and gross mess until one of the keys stops working or someone nearby comments on how nasty it is. Fortunately, this cleaning process is not actually that hard to do. Think of it like a thorough dental cleaning, but for your computer. So stop being that person with the messy keyboard. Take charge of your life, and start with a clean keyboard. Here's how. Shut down your machine. It's always best practice to disconnect your keyboard before you start the disinfecting process. Nobody wants liquid cleaning products near your hard drive. When the computer is on, if you have a laptop, that means turning the entire machine off. If you've got a desktop computer, you can just disconnect the keyboard from the computer. Shake it out. With a good grip, carefully turn your laptop or keyboard completely upside down. Stand over a garbage can and gently shake your device so that any dried up crumbs or pieces of food will fall out, thanks to the handy force of gravity. This debris removal is an important first step because it gets the big, bulky stuff out, so they won't get in the way of your more precise scrubbing action later on. Compressed air to the rescue. Just like any piece of furniture that sits in one place for a long time, the spaces in between your keyboard are going to gather dust. These particles, combined with any minuscule food crumbs, are nearly impossible to remove with gentle shaking alone. That's where compressed air comes in. Compressed air, which is exactly what its name implies, comes in a can and can be purchased at any office supply store, superstore, and even on Amazon. These cans are fairly cheap. And what makes them most amazing and useful is the fact that they are like a power cleaner for your keyboard. They can get out the dust in that random corner of your keyboard that you didn't even know you had. When using compressed air, Apple recommends tilting your keyboard at a 75-degree angle so that it's nearly vertical, but not quite. Spray the compressed air into the keyboard and rotate the keyboard or laptop 90 degrees 4 times so that you reach as many areas of the device board from as many angles as possible. Scrubbing time. Now that you've gotten all the dust and debris out, you can focus on those grimy, perhaps slimy, keys. Yes, it's that time. For this process, you'll need a cotton swab, some Q-tips, and some basic isopropyl alcohol, also known as rubbing alcohol. All of this can be purchased at most pharmacies and grocery stores. Dab a small amount of alcohol onto the cotton ball and carefully clean each key. Then, for inter-key cleaning, switch to the Q-tip with a bit of alcohol. The small size of the Q-tip helps to ensure the alcohol only goes onto the keyboard surface, and not inside. Just be careful not to put too much alcohol onto the Q-tip. From experience, for extra scummy keys, you are going to need to scrub pretty hard. You may even have to go back to some keys for a second scrub. The alcohol will likely get rid of most bacteria and germs that gather on your keyboard. But if you want to be extra sure, then you can finish with a multi-purpose cleaning wipe as well. Alcohol, because of its low boiling point, evaporates very quickly, which is another reason it's so useful for cleaning a keyboard. The area is dry in a few seconds. Key removal. Usually the combination of shaking, spraying, and scrubbing is good enough. But if your keys are sticking or you're convinced there's still some dirt under the keypads, you can sometimes remove them. This technique depends on the type of keyboard you have and how it was put together. It's helpful to have a toolkit like this one if you are going to attempt to remove them. Repeat often. Frequency is key. Just like brushing and flossing your teeth, the more often you clean your keyboard, the less likely it is the dirt and scum will have a chance to build up. While once a day is probably excessive, once a week is very easily doable. The bacteria is probably not that bad, for Yaourt at least. Even if you never clean your keyboard, the bacteria that build up are probably normal, friendly bacteria, the same kind that gather on your phone and other items you touch every single day. And you likely won't get any new diseases from your own keyboard. But an unclean keyboard is a really easy way to spread disease, causing bacteria, especially if you are sick and other people are using the device as well. So best practice is probably to give a good clean once a week. Not everything that falls in the cracks of your computer keyboard can be removed with a gus duster or vigorous shaking. The oils from your fingers can get on everything you touch, including your keys. Splatters of sugary drinks or other sticky liquids can also fall on the surface as well as in the cracks between keys. As you use the keys, this oily and sticky gunk spreads to other parts of the keyboard, capturing and trapping the dirt and germs from your fingers along the way.